Ran back in my room because I'm sitting here still watching details basically to that case. Well, it's details, but it's details I've already heard. But so it ain't really nothing new. Um, but to the case with the baby that got thrown in the lake and stuff. And the mom got shot. Don't want to disregard the mom, but the baby is it's definitely what stands out. But anyway, like I said, I ran back in here because I just wanted to talk about it because this stuff, it almost triggered me. Trying to get to the point where I didn't let it trigger me. There was a word a couple weeks ago that said, God is dealing with what's triggering you, whether that's people, whether that's certain things or whatever. And I still believe and hold on to that word. Um, I'm not trying to be triggered, honey. But anyway, I was just listening to the girl talk, and there's this girl, she's doing like commentary on what happened and stuff like that, just giving her opinion after she listens to whatever she listens to. And um it just got me back to thinking about what I went through over the years and stuff like that regarding that whole situation um with the boys' dad, and like just went back to the time when he had the baby with the other I'm saying first girl, but again, I still till this day do not know whether he truly had a baby with this other girl um that he claimed to be engaged with and all this other stuff. And I don't know, just that whole situation is still is just bothersome because it's like, man, why do you got to go out here and even lay up with all these girls and mess over everybody? Why? It's like greed. Like you had a ex-wife, you had a son with her, or well, still was his current wife. You had a son with her, and you had then you had this girl on the side, and you end up having the baby with her, but you claim you didn't want the baby. Then the other girl, the girlfriend, who everybody was supposedly knowing as the girlfriend, she got pregnant twice by him, but she claimed she didn't want to carry his genes of his family. Now you see why. But at the same time, she said she had two abortions. And it was just crazy. But anyway, going back to mine, um, I remember having a dream about seeing his face, like looking dumbfounded. This is when he was involved with a girl, and and then I got up one night and I went over there, and it was nighttime. And baby, when I tell you, I felt like terrified, just shaking and scared of this and the third. And his car was parked over there and was parked on the street or whatever. And so whatever. But on that night, I didn't do nothing. I didn't tamper with nothing, did nothing, whatever. Came right back home. Just kind of needed that confirmation. Oh, he's somewhere else or whatever. Car right there, just sitting, honey. And so, just needed that confirmation, pretty much for myself or whatever. And so left. But then the next day when I woke up, I truly felt led to go over there. And the only way I was going to go over there, or I think it was the next day, or it could have been another day. But the only way I was going over there was if he was not over there. And so at the time, he was so called living at another place that's right around the corner from here. And he had all his dirt he was doing, he did it right there next to wherever he was resting at, residing at, whatever. And so I went on, got in my car, whatever, left the kids here, and they was young too. I left them here. I think my daughter was like maybe 8 or so, old enough to still be here. But anyway, mm, anyway, I drove over there, and basically the dream played out. I seen him do the dumbfounded look because he was there. His car, even though his car was parked where was his car was parked at where he was supposed to be residing at, which was over here on this side of town. He had been getting the girl to bring him over there to her house so he could leave his car where he was at. And I'm like, I mean, is he just trying to be smart and make it still seem like he's over here or what. But it was just crazy. But anyway, so that's what it was like. Okay, that was the go ahead. Okay, well, he over here, so let me go over here and talk to her. I was going to talk to the girl. At the time, she was pregnant and stuff like that. Had a dream about me even, like touching her stomach or something like that. I don't know, it was something. And it was during the time when she was pregnant. So basically, I just went over there, and it seemed like it was confrontational, but it was really, I'm trying to get your side of the matter or whatever. And I ain't. This is the thing about me. I wasn't even. I was pressed, but I wasn't pressed like I. It's not that I didn't care, but it was like I don't. Whatever he doing, I don't really want to know. But it was to me, it was God on the inside of me wanting me to know, like, because you're tampering with my body and stuff like that. You're going back and forth between me and her. So it's something I guess I need to know. Like, literally, when I was putting my clothes on to even drive over there, I was like, oh, Lord, keep me. I even called my so called mom that time. I was like, I'm got to go over here. I got to go, it's some business I got to go handle. And she was saying, no, I don't think you need to do that. And you don't got to do that. I said, well, I was ready to call you. I'm calling. Pray for me. And that's that. And that was that. And after I left from over there, I called back or whatever, let him know I'm fine. But okay, of course I get over there. He calls. He's standing out on the porch, and he had the same dumbfounded look that I had had in my dream a couple days before or whatever. And I mean, he looked like he was shocked or surprised, like, oh, it's almost like, oh, she really came through. It's almost like maybe he wanted me to come through, or either he foreknew that I was coming through. And then when I got out and got over there, he started putting on this actor, this character, like he didn't want me there, and like I need to leave, and he to the point where he called the cops. And she didn't, or whatever. She came down, she was listening to me, and I was talking or whatever. And she didn't. I said, this is not, and I told the cops, I was like, this is not his place, or it's just not his residence. So does the person who lives here want me to leave? And that's when she was like, yeah. But before that, she didn't say nothing. And then afterwards, she told me that how she wanted to punch me and this, that, and the third, and all this. Okay, well, honey, uh, hit me for what? Because I've been with him and he been lying to you. It's like that. Y'all always want to take stuff out on the wrong person. And so, now later on when she became disrespectful, now that's honey, that's when you got an issue. You know what I'm saying? When you came disrespectful directly to me, that's when I have an issue with you. Now, when you feeling the type of way because he's going back and forth between both of us and this and the third, and you have your little words or whatever, that's one thing. But when you start getting disrespectful, there's a problem. So when she disrespected me is I when her daughter was over here because the dad brought her over here when she was locked up, and she bumped up against me instead of, you know what I'm saying? You didn't even have to say thank you, but don't bump up against me. Don't brush up against me. And that's when you disrespected me. And that's when after that, shortly she lost her son. Shortly after that, a couple months, a hop, skip, and a jump, she lost her son by her own her own hands. So that was my thing. Um, Again, just now I'm just realizing you dealing with him, honey. It's like something that's almost guaranteed to happen to your kids or something happen in your life. Like I didn't lose my child, but he made the phone call that led to my child being taken up out of my household. And you know what I'm saying? I really feel like I don't understand why, God allowed that regarding him because I was pretty much loyal to this dude. I was definitely, like I said before, was careful with him. So I don't know why God allowed it, but something in me feels like, a part of me feels like, it was to even deceive the enemy as far as, hey, I need this to happen because the enemy think he's winning, but he's not, and I just need this to play out like this. So, as far as my daughter being gone or whatever, and it to even appear that so the worst thing is happening in my life. Granted, do God have to do it like that? He could just flat out prove your enemies wrong. Yeah, but I don't know. I think again, what I did it contributed to me having to live it out like that as well. But anyway, so that was that on that one or whatever. Went over there and you call it addressed or whatever. I mean, and calling the cops. And then, of course, when I was over there, he was just telling the cops, oh, she's a Christian, this, that, and the third. Just yelling out stuff that it's not a crime, but that's what you're yelling out. So, again, I always know it was a spiritual battle for me. It was something regarding my faith, but it was just, I had never knew or thought that stuff could play out like this. Now I know better, and I'm definitely trying to do much better. But So then the other time, I'm back to when I went over to the other girl's house. And for whatever reason, like I don't even want to. Every time when he's done dealt with somebody or been with somebody, I always be like, baby, they don't exist to me. Like I don't know, I don't care what y'all got going on. I don't care how much you care about that person. They don't exist to me. And if you're gonna be around me, I'm not having no parts of none of that. And at this point, of course, he's not around me, and I don't want him around me. But I did receive some mail yesterday regarding court documents and stuff like that, and it had his name on it and whatever. But but yeah, like they don't exist to me, and I don't, what I'm saying? I'm not saying I don't know what you have to do to make sure that they don't exist to me. And I know it sounds crazy. It does sound like some of these cases that I've been listening to. Like sometimes I really do be feeling like the person that the guy is with and actively involved with sometimes, but sometimes the one that he's really connected to, which in this case it would still be his wife because they was not divorced. But he was not, like she said, they've been separated, so he wasn't like physically with her, but he was still on paper, legally or whatever, tied and connected to her. So that was messy all around. Anyway, but I'll be feeling like the one that he's involved with, and I do be feeling like the one that's seniority that been there the longest and that's been putting up with his mess and this, that, and the third, she should have the upper hand to say so or whatever. And in that case, it was me during that time, and even during the time when he so-called moved on or whatever. I had been watching his daughter. I had been the one, what I'm saying, just like I explained, watching his other daughter. I was spending time with him. I was getting to know them. I wasn't, cheating on him, so to quote unquote cheating on him. I didn't do none of that. I wasn't lying to him. I wasn't, what I'm saying, I was not going back and forth between him and my daughter's dad and and things like that. I was not doing none of that. I hadn't been with nobody else but him that whole time. And so, that's me trying to have a family and actually not, I don't want to keep on bed hopping and so-called relationships. So anyway, that's how I felt or whatever. And like I said, even with the other girl when he got her pregnant, I was just like, well, I've been here longer, honey, so I'm not going nowhere. And then just come to find out, she already had a baby daddy that she was just waiting on to get out of jail, but she got pregnant by him during the process of her baby daddy being locked up. So I definitely thought that was childish and immature. And then they started having like these little, to me, little immature battles and stuff played out. And he was like, in a sense, feeling it, or like, what I'm saying, he was like enjoying it, getting a kick out of it. And meanwhile, I was sitting on the side like, you playing with her, but in the process, you're upsetting me and you're disappointing me and you're hurting me. And you're not even giving a damn about how I feel. You know what I'm saying? You're playing and having a good time with playing with the girl. So that's already one thing, but just crazy stuff like that. So when I went to the other girl house or whatever, and of course, it's just other things that I'm not, again, actively thinking about, but when it comes up, I just feel like I need to address it, talk about it, get off my chest, just in case there's something I need to re-examine. Which for this right here, I don't want to re-examine none of it. I want it to just be done and over with. And even in 2018, I was just like, oh yeah, this situation finna be done and over with. I just felt like I had that other situation, I had defeated that so strongly and so victoriously, like, and me and him we had, we got back together, this, and that. Not, I don't even want to say back together because I didn't ever leave him, but he didn't have a choice pretty much but to leave that girl alone because the baby daddy was home, and he was back in the picture. But they, who knows what they probably still had going on. And even in 2018, it was something about her still coming up, but he was physically, and this is where it gets crazy, but he was physically with the other girl. And this girl, has the same name as the girlfriend that he was with when I did start dealing with him. And yeah, that was his living girlfriend, but what I'm saying, he made a decision to do what he did. Like I say, it's always that non-consensual. And even just going back to the night when I first messed with him, I think it was in November or something like that of 2010, and he was actively involved with a living girlfriend or whatever. I don't want to say I didn't care. I was a single woman. I wasn't with nobody. And me and my daughter's dad, we was had probably still been like messed around a couple times or whatever, but it just was not working at all. And then other guys that I was trying to date or whatever, it just wasn't it. And so, I was attracted to him and I was drawn to him. But when we was just chilling, as I thought we was chilling as friends or whatever, but one night we was really chilling. I just had the lights down and stuff like that, not trying to make it romantic, but that's just how I was. I like my music up and my lights down, and I had got off from, well, you know what, I wasn't even working because I had gotten laid off, and I had got me a drink because it was the weekend, and so inhibitions was lowered, and we was just sitting there chilling, and that's when he pounced. Not literally like hurt or pounced on me, but he pounced on me like a predator would do their prey. I'm not gonna go into the details of what he did or whatever, but and then I told him, I was like, basically I was consenting to it then or whatever. I was down, but I was like, we need to use a condom because I knew he was with somebody, and he was like, no, I want to feel you. Like, I never forget some of them details. He was like, no, I want to feel you. I had never, heard that before. So I guess at my little young age, it sounded good. And I was like, okay, whatever. And ended up going there with him or whatever. And so, and of course, that's how that all got started. And after that, honey, I did leave him alone again. And then we quickly linked because he did something offensive. And then we linked back up again, in time enough to get pregnant with my son in 2011, and I carried him, to till and he was born in 2012. So we got it in around late 2010. I got pregnant. We left each other alone, and then came back. Like almost mid 2011, and I got pregnant and carried my son until, in which he asked me, "You want a boy?" You know what I'm saying? Literally, I wasn't even thinking about that with him either, to be honest. Like my daughter's dad said, he tried me. I wasn't asking for no child with him. I was just enjoying laying up, just to be frank. I was young, I was hot, whatever. That was my little boyfriend, and I'm laying up. This one right here, I had my own house. I was young. Only had one child, and I was trying to lay up, get laid, whatever, whatever. And he asked me, you want a boy, and during the act or whatever. And I did want a boy. I did. I already had a daughter, but I had always wanted a boy, so I was like, yeah. And I know it just sounds so damn elementary, you know what I'm saying? Like people out here just being messy, not having kids under the right circumstances, just doing whatever. And so, and I just took it serious. And I'm like, yeah, I want a boy. But, I also knew that I wanted to raise my son with the parent. And then, of course, when I had another boy later on or whatever. But when I went to that girl house or whatever, and then, yeah, she did similar. That's where it was already disrespectful because she kept asking about my sons coming over there. And I had told her, no, no, ma'am. And she just kept on trying to form a way for them. It's almost like she wanted to rewind time. It's almost like she seemed like she could do some witchcraft to, oh, well, if she say yes to this, then I'm going to find a way to rewind time and be able to get them over here in that type of way. I guess like a more legal type of way, and definitely a way of approval from me. And I'm just sitting here like, girl, he's the one that said that I probably won't let them come over there, but I never keep my sons away from their daddy. Their daddy stayed away from them for whatever reason. Like literally, even coming across the street, he did not come over and hug them, and that was his choice. I didn't keep him. I didn't stop him from coming over. Am I thankful that he chose not to? Yeah, and I want him to, what I'm saying? I wanted him to keep my kids out of any drama and stuff that he may have. Absolutely. But I did not keep my kids from going over there. If he said that to you, he had a reason for not wanting them to come over there. And I don't understand why, because he let his daughter come over there. But I wasn't gonna push it because I definitely didn't want my sons over there. I didn't want them over there the first time they went. He told me it was a friend. At the time, I didn't care. I wouldn't have even probably cared if it was a female friend, if it was actually a friend and not somebody who was sleeping with. But, then again, I might have felt the type of way, but still. And so he was just deceitful all around. So when I went over there or whatever again, I had already bought my drinks, this and the third. I already said this stuff before, but I had bought my little drinks. And when I get my drinks, that means I'm finna relax. And this was on a Monday. So, and I was a driver. So I knew I wasn't finna be drinking and riding people around. Like I said, my spirit already knew, oh, she getting ready to chill. And she getting ready to, while she's chilling, she getting ready to be able to enjoy it, whatever, because of what was going to take place anyway. I was gonna need to like calm down and relax. And so anyway, got my little drinks or whatever, went out there and had the interaction with her or whatever. Of course I had prayed about it or whatever, and this one I can't I just know I had dreams. She invited me somewhere, like to a pool, which a pool is a place that you have fun at. But I remember in my dream that I was saying, he was there, but I can't tell whether he was having fun. He was just in the pool, just like kind of standing there, like not like he was just at a place of fun, but not seemingly having fun. He was just there, like just existing, like just he could have been a damn statue in the water or whatever. I don't know, but I don't really know how to explain it, but that's what it was. But I remember writing that down because I'm just that detailed. And she is the one who had invited me there. She had on a black bathing suit. She had invited me or whatever, and maybe it was like to sort out some stuff with him because I just didn't know what was going on. And because I was used to him. Yeah, he might honestly, he went missing a few times or whatever, and then he would pop back up or whatever. But this time he just did not pop back up, and I'm like, what? Wait, what? That's not like him. And it was times when I was comfortable with him not popping back up, like right before his brother died and stuff like that. Not, yeah, before his brother died, we had went through some stuff, and but from December of 2017, that's when he stopped coming over. So basically, he didn't cross over into the new year um, during that time frame to 2018. But I had to reach out to him when I was seeing his dad over here across the street messing with the girl, and just like I wasn't used to him not seeing his sons. That was not his children coming over here, of course, bothering with me, tampering with me and stuff. But he was seeing his sons physically, and I just was not used to that. And I definitely didn't feel ready for nothing like that. Like what? This we changing like this? This is what we doing? And so I don't know. Until this day, I still don't truly know what's going on. He's done lied, she's done lied, and then and then some of it might be some truth. I don't know, and I just didn't want to hear it or whatever. Until this day, I still, if he is engaged or married or whatever, I still wouldn't want that to be because she was just disrespectful. And again, even if we're not gonna be together, if I feel like I've been there before you still need to have some respect. It's a certain, you know what I'm saying, regarding me, and but anyway, at this point, they all disrespectful. To be honest, the first baby mama, the not second one because I was the so-called second one, but the one he had while he was involved with me and stuff like that, and then this female. But anyway, and then not to mention some of his female relatives is like, of course, his mom deceased now. She was definitely disrespectful, trying to do it in a subtle way. And his other sister, she wasn't really disrespectful, but she probably, I think she just tried to steer clear of the stuff that was going on. And I know she knew how her brother was for the most part, and because there was a time when she did say to me, "Why you do such and such? Why you do him like that? Because he don't need." And I was just like, "Girl, you'll know one day." That when you're a woman that loves a man, you know what I'm saying, you don't try to. Me personally, I was trying to make sure that we was good. But went to the girl house, and like I said, she put her. I'm not gonna front. I just cannot front. God knows what happened. I went and I knocked on the door like the police, kind of, sort of. Like I'm here. I'm here with a purpose or whatever. But I'm not. I wasn't there to fight or anything. I felt like if necessary, yeah. But I wasn't there to fight. I was there to, like I said, reach out to him, find out, well, what's going on. When are you gonna see your sons? When are you gonna, you know what I'm saying? You ain't popped up. But I guess I should have known when he did not come across the street that day, when he was over here, but did not come and see his sons. And I'm like, wait, what? It ain't like him. But even when his brother died, he didn't come. He came over here when he was like kind of invited because he was telling me I want to get. That's when he told me I want to get the the boys and take them to the friend house and this that, and the third. Then he claimed that he told me no, I didn't tell you it was no friend. I told you I had a girl and this that. I'm like, what? And how do you just pop up with a girl every time you turn around? You ain't even done with the relationship that you in. So that was just crazy. Like they say, it just behooves me. But so went over there and she basically was already trying to get brolic and stuff like that, and like swinging at me and like swiping me. I might still have the damn scratch on my arm. I don't remember what it was, but it was a little slight scratch on my arm. She had nails, honey. I was pissed that you even made contact and like breaking my skin. Oh, that's an offense. That's an offense. And that's an assault, and I'm definitely going to try to protect myself. So went over there or whatever and asked for him. She's asking why, girl. You, if I would tell you to lick the crack of my ass if I didn't think that you would probably like it. Just so you can say, oh, I'm part of her. I'm her now. I got a piece of her, so that way I can be good enough for you. I really feel like that she's like that. She's that type, and she only like that for vanity reasons. It's not that she. I don't feel like she really wanted him and cared for him like that. She just. I mean, sometimes like many of us, sometimes we want somebody just there, just to be there, just to say we got somebody. Um, or sometimes it could have been despite her own kids' fathers or whatever the case may be. And similar to what I seemed like he was doing. I'm doing this despite my kids' mothers and stuff like that. But okay. I don't know. I don't really know their real reason, do I think that they was in love or anything? No, I don't. I do not, because it was just so much deceitful stuff. He would come when he did come over here, not would come, because I didn't allow him to run back and forth between me and that girl. But when he did come over here, and he was like, "Oh, don't tell that bitch nothing. You snitching this," and I'm like, snitching, and I'm with you. What are you talking about? And but he was like, "Don't tell her nothing. Don't tell that bitch nothing." Um, and what else did he say? And that was that, and I guess that was to make me feel like I was still part of him or whatever. But I didn't want to be a part of that madness that you had going on where you trying to play a female, you're trying to get whether it's money out of her, whether it's whatever. Now I felt like if she gonna be around, she need to contribute something, but I actively engaging in that, I just was not, because I didn't know what was going on. And so, like I said, went over there. She already got animosity towards me. This is not how she was when she would talk to me via emails. But when I went over there, she had animosity, and that shows me your true colors. Like, you've been saying one thing via emails with your words, so you try to make your words sound sweet, but on the inside, you really ready to go in and do some other stuff. And like I said, she would send me emails saying some nice words, and so it's like it almost seemed like in front of him you was trying to, it seemed like in front of him, or I don't know, he might have knew some truth too, but in front of him you was trying little sweet sounding stuff, but when it was me and you was ready to go in. Like I said, she was getting brolic and stuff like that, and so I'm ready to defend myself. And when I seen it going there, I was just like, no, let me just go ahead and leave, because I'm definitely not here for that. I was here to see what's up with him, why you haven't seen our sons, and stuff like that. Trust me, I know when he get girlfriends, they be saying, "Oh, you can't go to your baby mama. You can't go over there." They don't never. I don't think they really say that about his daughter's mom. And I just never was like, "Oh, you can't go to her house." Now I expected you're not going to be sitting over her house and just trying to get at her while we together. But I didn't even try to check him as a grown man. I tried to, what I'm saying. You need that freedom to be who you are for one. See what's going to be exposed or whatever. And I knew that she wasn't feeling him like that from what she was telling me. So I wasn't never worried about them. And then when he did have the baby with the other one, like I said, her baby daddy was home, so I definitely wasn't worried. I mean, it was concerns or whatever. I didn't never know what they could have going on, but I was like, oh no, well we good now, you know what I'm saying? And little did I know, but that's when his mama came out of the woodworks or whatever with her shenanigans showing her true colors, and I was just like, oh Lord. And basically his mom had been controlling a lot of stuff behind the scenes anyway. His mama was in all the females' ear and stuff like that he would, well, especially the girl with the baby girl or whatever. And with me, she couldn't do that with me. They knew that they couldn't just get me to turn against him or anything like that. So they played him against me or whatever. And, he took, I guess, the bait or whatever. Mamas can play on their son's emotions and stuff like that if they want to, I guess. And my parents can play on their kids' emotions, period. And that's the one thing about me. See, with my daughter, you would think I would be able to play on her emotions. And I don't, but I'm just saying, you would think that she would be sweet on me when it comes to, oh, I know this is the person that raised me, this and that. I don't even know, because I've raised my kids to still be their own person, like their own individual, and be decision makers. So granted, I might not have liked the decisions that she made toward, not coming home and stuff like that, but I'm still gonna respect my kids and like, hey, that's their situation. They need to figure it out. I'm not gonna try to do it for them or be behind the scenes, and it's me who's controlling the narrative. So that's what his mama was doing or whatever. And he like us, I put the screenshots before. He basically said, "What nigga? What? No, he said, what man gonna listen to a bitch over their parents?" And I was like, "So I'm a bitch and you a man, but okay." And furthermore, the Bible that I've read, it said leave and cleave. And so, and he had told me before, we gonna get married, and he had told me, I know I got the receipts and stuff. And he had told me, I'm out here trying to learn how to be a man to a woman, and that was me. I was the one that was in the picture. So I was like, how could anybody else slip in or whatever? But of course I had a dream where his mama called somebody forth, and there was that. So, and he, let it happen or whatever the case may be. And so that was that. But and again, I still don't know fully all the details. But when I went out there, did that, I ended up leaving or whatever, and of course she got the van number and all that stuff, and she had one of them call my job. I believe it was him. And then she went and pressed false charges, saying that I was trespassing, that she asked me to leave. She never asked me to leave. I'm gonna leave anyway, but she never asked me to leave. She more so tried to pull me into her house, like trying to pretty much, that was definitely gonna be the ultimate setup. Pull me in your house and try to make it seem like I came in there. Absolutely, absolutely not. And I don't know if she got a weapon or whatever, and anything could have happened. That could have been my last day. But as soon as she like kind of swung at me, I and swiped me and stuff like that, and I was swinging back, and I'm not even a left hand fighter, but baby, this left hand was gonna go to work. I was like, oh, gotta go. Got the information, went out there, just was getting her tag number, because I just want to make sure if your vehicle is coming anywhere near me and my kids and my household, I'm going to know. And then I then I proceeded on to the car, and this was all of, like I said, 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 seconds to a minute. That's how long I was there. So tell me again how I'm trespassing if I'm leaving within 30 seconds to a minute. And so that was a lie, whatever. And then she said that I told her that she was going to be next to die, and which I did. I felt a type of way, like, girl, you next, but I didn't tell her, like, next to die as if I'm going to kill you, honey, because I didn't kill anybody. I'm telling you next because, honey, you sitting around this dude. It's like, again, it's like it's a warning. And she even had time to ask me, well, what happened? Because I was naming off the people that have died around him, that I had nothing to do with their deaths or anything. I just know of. And I honestly, sometimes you've had issues with people and they die. And that's just what it is. And it's not about, it don't have nothing to do with me. It's just, it was their time, or maybe it wasn't their time. And it's just, you know what I'm saying? Some of their stuff catch up to them or whatever the case. And you get to feel that relief. That's what it was. And she even had time to ask me, oh, well, what happened to him? What happened to him? Girl, you've been sitting around him and you don't know what happened to the people in his so that right there was deceptive in another way. Like, what you mean what happened to him? You the one that's been with him while during all these deaths, to be honest. Like, she was with him when his mama died, she was with him when his brother died, she was with him throughout all them deaths. She was with him in his 33rd year when he was when he experienced that, when his grandma died, or, I'm saying, so called with him, or whatever, should I say. And so I'm like, what? And I remember that, what happened to him. But she was saying it like I did something to him. Girl, I didn't go and do nothing to them people. Might not have liked them people. And you know what I'm saying? Some of them people had problems with their own issues with me because they had issues with themselves. And I do feel relief that they not here. Sure do. Because people was playing on my top, playing with my kids. But that don't have nothing to do with me. So you might want to double check with him. You might want to find out, why is everybody dying around you? I felt like that about somebody else, because it was deaths just happening around that person. And God told me to mind. God literally told me that's not your, just mind your business. And so I was like, oop, oop. So if you really want to know, girl, you might find out. What happened to him. I'm not sticking around to try to find out. I might ask around and want to know, but I'm not sticking around him to try to find out. People dropping like flies or whatever that's that's associated with him, or surrounding his life. And so anyway, I went on, and so this is the part that I just didn't understand. He had played this when me and him first got together and linked up. He had played this um okay, I can't even talk about it. I thought I could, but well, he played a song or whatever, and then anyway, that song played on the radio. That song played on the radio that same day as soon as I left the girl house. And it was like, and so that's why I felt like, well, what the heck is going on? Um, I felt like a certain type of victory. But what I went through after that, of course, getting arrested and stuff like that, I'm like, this don't feel victorious now. This don't even, and I had prayed for resolve, and I was like, this don't even feel like resolve. Like, Lord, if I'd have known that this was supposed to be resolved, then I might not would have asked for it. And it got me to the point where I'm like, Lord, I ain't even trying to ask for no resolve about nothing else. I'm just going to, but I really go back to, I almost know, but I really think it's because my behavior that took place during that time that kind of made the situation go in that direction. I don't think it would have happened even if she did press false charges, because his mama pressed false charges on me, and I was victorious with that. I didn't do no jail time. Now, granted, I got stuff put on my record, but that's another thing that I wanted to explain to him. Like, just like they can go and just press charges and get something put on my record just that easy, and I don't go fight it or get it expunged or it gets so called dismissed, but it's still there. That's what makes somebody look like they're a bad person or they have a record. And they really don't. They really did not do that. You know what I'm saying? They really just, that person felt offended and felt some type of way, so they wanted to go and stir up some trouble and you know what I'm saying, just outright flat out lie. And so I wanted him to understand that, but I never got around to talking to him about that because he started being one of the ones to participate and engage in, like I always say, just like set up type of behavior when it came to me. So I was like, yeah, no, that's not gonna work, baby. And the one time or the first time I see that you're so called trying to set me up and I didn't do anything but good to you, I'm definitely out the door. That was the deal breaker that I didn't even know existed. And now that it's here, appreciate it. Thank you, baby. But so yeah, that's how I'm feeling or whatever. Like I said, I couldn't speak about that song or whatever. I wanted to. I just knew that was gonna come out my mouth, but it wouldn't even come out my tongue. But it's fine. I know what it is. And it was, I'm already like an old school R&B type of person, so it was a song that I liked or whatever. But it was just funny because he had turned down the radio in my car. While I was playing my radio, he turned it down and turned that song up on his phone. A couple songs he turned up on his phone, but this one specifically, and I was like, oh, that's so sweet. That was a moment when I felt like, oh, that's so sweet and all this or whatever. And he was actually like a sweet dude or whatever. But well, I felt like he was, because the rest of the time, honey, this dude, he tried to show them little mean, whether they true colors or what, but mean colors, mean streaks or whatever. I was like, boy, are you playing hard? But no, he was not playing. He was really he was really like that. He had them little meanish, like irritated, like he's irritated all the time type ways, or irritated at the most inconvenient times. And sometimes, I know when I put on these videos, I'm irritated, I'm frustrated. Again, some people would think, oh, that's a petty reason to be irritated or whatever. But, everybody got something that just irks them. And that's one reason I do be trying to be careful with my sons. If I see me going hard on them, I'll be like, you know what? I'm not them. They are individuals. So I might think they shouldn't be bothered by this, or he shouldn't be bothered by something that his younger brother doing. But I'm not. I had to respect them young men. I choose to respect them young men and be like, okay, what bothers them might not bother me, but that don't mean that it's not a real true issue for them or whatever. So, or concern for them. And so let me just take into consideration how they feel. But even the other night when my son was crying and stuff like that, had his emotions out, I still am realistic, and I'm like, well, you know what? We all cry. We all got tear ducts. We got them for a reason. It's not going to hurt them to cry sometimes. Just like we have a newborn baby, you don't have to pick that baby up all the time just to um and end up spoiling the baby and stuff like that. Um, so that's how it was or whatever. It's like, it's time. I don't like to see my kids crying, but I have to come back to reality. Like, you know what? It's okay for him to cry. He gonna be all right once he cry and get it out. That's the world we live in. You gonna have disappointments. Cause if it was up to me, I'm gonna make my kids happy all the time. They gonna always be smiling, and that's that. But I had to realize, I cried. It ain't kill me. Crying, it does not kill nobody. It actually helps you. It's definitely therapeutic. Speaking of therapeutic, I I was looking at the word therapist yesterday, and of course, if you break it down, it's the rapist. That's how you spell it. You know what I'm saying? If you separate it, and that could just be me because I've been raped and all that or whatever. But I've seen that stand out, and I'm like, oh, so the therapist is the ones that really been raping people. Okay, that's how I started feeling. That's how I started looking at it or whatever. But yeah, I know, kind of crazy people stuff or whatever. But yeah, just wanted to speak on that because yeah, she put her hands on me, and it's like, honey, even a nail, don't touch me. You can deal with him, and you don't got to put your damn hands on me. Period. Just like that girl, like the one with he got the baby with. Girl, don't brush up against me because you feeling the type of way, and especially after I done let you in my house, so you can get your baby. You brushed up against me. Are you serious? And I had already had a dream that she was gonna get her backside burned up earlier, but I didn't know it was gonna happen like that. And I felt the type of way. I felt sad when, it was said that she lost her child. He messaged me talking about, oh, she lost her baby and this, that, and the I mean, she lost her child. She got in a wreck and such died, and I don't want to talk about it. And he was feeling in his feelings, and that was another thing. It's like, honey, we deal with these men, or we deal with people in general, and they start messing around with somebody else, and they get their emotions and feelings in it, and you got a nerve to feel. You got a nerve that you telling me about a female that you messed with while you was involved in it. You got pregnant. She went back to her baby daddy because he came, and you know what I'm saying. And then she tried to come cause some issues at my house, and you got a nerve to feel a type of way that she lost a child. I mean, of course, that's the natural, normal part of everybody. You got feelings. That's a good thing. But you got a nerve to have feelings about a messy situation and even then I had to respect that, he had been a part of them kids' lives. He had been over in her household and this, that, and the third. But that bothers me. It's like he didn't have to. He opted to for whatever reason. And his mom and his sister, well, especially his mom, it seemed like they was waiting on me to break down regarding his behavior. It was one time when my son had we was going to visit his other sister at a daycare because I was going to a grocery store, a store over there. It was close to her daycare, and my at the time his sister, I was I wasn't cool with her, but I was I was me and her was around each other, associating or whatever. And she had my son, and she took him in there, and then she was like, oh, "Girl, I'm so sorry," but before I knew it, he jumped in the arms of another female that his dad had been with at least one time or whatever the case may be, but he called his best friend. And I was like, okay, I know. I mean, I didn't know he did it, but I was like, I was already preparing myself for it. I prayed about it. And then we sat down and we talked about it with his mom. And it was like they looked at me to try to see my response. I mean, my reaction. Like, is she gonna trip because he was with her or whatever the case may be? Just looking, just waiting to see, am I gonna blow up? Am I gonna act a fool? And I didn't. And it's like, but they didn't. They wasn't satisfied with that. They still didn't appreciate that I didn't come out the bag on nobody. And they was like, no, we got to do something to ruffle her feathers, or you know what I'm saying? Basically, people just want to get a reaction out of you. And I understand people want to know how you gonna act on your worst days and stuff like that. And baby, I might go in, but I'm not. But it was just looking at me like a spectacle or whatever, and like, and when they couldn't find nothing on me, they still just deemed me the bad guy. Because they sat around people, they heard about stuff from my past when I was younger, a teenager, when I was provoked. They didn't hear about the parts of me being provoked, and I responded. But, and so that prompted them to try to press some buttons and do some stuff. Now, it's one thing when you live in your life, and he was living his life or whatever, of how he truly is, whether he a hoe, whether he this, whether he that. But when you just try to push me, or you get your people to try to test me, that's a problem to me, and I don't care for that. Like, why won't she mess up? Why won't I mean, he's literally told me, why don't you act like a trained bitch? I don't know if that meant like, why won't you, you know, cut the food like somebody normally would, or whatever the case, or when you see when somebody's cheating and the girl goes to acting, getting stupid because she in her emotions. I'm like, baby, I already did that with my daughter's dad. Y'all think I'm really gonna do this with y'all? Absolutely not. I love my kids. I love myself too much to be sitting out here because somebody want to put their penis somewhere else. I can't control that man's penis. As much as I would love that, it just be with me. I can't control that man's penis, and he wouldn't be able to control my vagina if I said or if I decided and had my mindset that I'm going out here to go sleep with somebody else. He would not. So guess what? And my turn ain't came up yet. But no, I'm not saying I'm planning. Um, yeah, because I'm definitely not planning on being back with this dude or whatever. But the reality is, honey, I know I got children with him, and yeah, sometimes they like to pop back up after they've been gone a long time. And I'm not saying that he is, and I'm hoping that he ain't. But and then, or even not just about him, the kids get to, oh well, I wonder what's going on with my dad. I wonder. And they got a right to feel like that or whatever. But if my son, I hope my sons be wise enough to know that y'all probably want to leave his ass where he at. I ain't telling them. Now, I will advise my kids, but I'm not going to make them. Well, mom, I think I just need to be around him. Okay, son, Okay, sons, if that's the case. And I know if my older son do it, then more than likely my younger son is going to want to, when it comes to something like that. Now, granted, they have their own minds, and they do stuff differently, but when it comes to something like that, and especially get old enough, my younger son will probably be like, well, he's doing it, so I'm gonna try it too. Yeah, he might surprise me and be like, I'm gonna leave that nigga where he at. I'm gonna leave that nigga where he at for real. But and he was already getting upset when I told him some truths about what happened between me and his dad. He was getting upset. And so that's when I knew. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna, I gotta wait. I'm gonna tell my kids the truth. It's not gonna be no lies told. But I'm gonna keep it age appropriate. Like, I'm not gonna tell my son no more of that stuff. Really, unless if he asks, yeah. But sometimes I just feel like I need to tell my kids the truth because cycles need to stop repeating. So like that behavior doesn't show up in them. And I could just tell them how, yeah, I might still be recovering from that or whatever, but I'm okay. I'm still here, and give them a hug or whatever. That was bad behavior that your dad exhibited, but you don't have to hate him. You can still love him, but sometimes I'm still advising him. Love him from a distance because he's dangerous in the sense that he can get somebody else to be dangerous on his behalf. Like, he really is gifted or talented. I don't want to say gifted, but it don't seem like gifted from God. But Yeah, he can accomplish that, and quite a few people have done that. Whether it be sisters, again, whether it be his mom, she did it on behalf of her damn self. She was just woo, cuckoo, cuckoo. No, let me stop. But he can get people to do it, and I just be like, wow. And he can have screwed them people over, and they'll still. And I just wasn't the one that was doing it. I was like, oh no, y'all, you must be out your damn mind if you think I'm finna react on your behalf because you feel like somebody did something to you, and you think I'm gonna cuss them out or I'm gonna say something and then get it. I'm staying out of it, and you're not gonna put me in that. So anyway, that was that. I had to rush back here and talk about that because that whole case, the dude got his same name, but I don't know. It just, and maybe I shouldn't turn the videos on and see it, but I be turning them on, honey, because I'm just like, I don't know. It's not really interesting. It's just sometimes you do want to know how the mind of these killers work. Like, why are y'all like this? What the heck? But the common factor for me is they be having multiple females. They be cheating. They be doing people dirty. They be lying. They be deceiving, and then that should just come back to bite them in some type of terrible way. And then not to mention, the girl. I know the girl is deceased now, the mom, but I never know what type of person she was. She did have another child and all that. But anyway, I'm not gonna get into that. I'm gone. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about.